It's the April 1st. Um, wow, but this ain't no April Fool's joke. This is dead serious. This is for real. Um, so I want to talk about something, and this is something that has been weighing on me very heavily. Over the last year, really over the last 2 years, when it's actually started to cause some damage. So what I'm talking about is this constant attack on my mouth with these gang stalkers and the damage that it's causing. Um, this is a very, very serious situation, and the United States government and governments around the world, they are failing. They're failing because they're not upholding laws to protect citizens, and they're allowing people who have access to neural monitoring satellite broadcasts to use EMF broadcast attacks against other people. And so when they're on mind control, living as a broadcast, connecting to broadcast, controlling broadcast, and they just put a broadcast on your mouth and in your mouth, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Try to drink a lot of water to stay hydrated. So I've got this circumstance, and if I do like that, it literally feels like my whole teeth, all of them, front, top, bottom, all of them. It feels like they're going to cave in, and they're all loose, and it's been getting worse and worse over the last couple years. Um, what happens is it starts to dry out. See, I've been having these guys broadcast in my mouth heavily for a long time. But this has been one of their little sessions where they'll just leave a broadcast on in my mouth, right in the front of my mouth, and it burns my lips. Not so bad that you could go to the hospital and say I've got my lips burned by a microwave broadcast. You're hard pressed to do that because it's just a low power. So it's a very gradual form of torture and bodily mutilation, deformation, and so they'll put this low power broadcast in your mouth and all into the flesh of your gums and your teeth, and it starts to deteriorate. And see, I've got 7,400 plus videos on YouTube of me talking about the things that they do to me. And I can tell you specifically that they started to broadcast in my mouth in 2017. They had already been doing torture activities, but that's when I realized and started to taste electricity, and like I knew for certain they're broadcasting. They're putting a broadcast in my mouth, and since then, I know who has my neural monitoring, and I'm I have a pretty solid idea of who's on my neural monitoring, the guys that are on my neural monitoring of a larger group. I mean, I know several of the people in the group of gang stalkers, and then I know where a lot of them are. And I've had a lot of experiences negatively with them in person and over broadcast. This is a thing where they have an intention, and it scares me to death, man. I can imagine having to have reconstructive surgery, not just like implants to try to fix my teeth. Not just that, but they're just rotting my whole front of my face off. And they do it every day, all the time. And you taste electricity or like electrical broadcast, you taste it in your mouth. And you can feel it burning your lips and your mouth, and it's drying out your mouth constantly. And I'm not always in a situation where I can just sit there and sip water every 10 seconds to try to keep some moisture in there to keep this broadcast from burning my body away. And so I've been filing police reports for many years, several years, like 25 to 30 police reports. I've filed or made reports to every branch of the government that I can find. And they've failed. They've failed me, and they've failed millions of you guys out there. Or at least tens of thousands who understand that something is happening like that and have tried to contact somebody, some sort of authority. And, I have the same fear that everyone else has, that they're going to just destroy my body, and it's killing me, and I know it is. I know for sure that it's killing me. And I want to put myself in a position to do something legally about it. And, get, better employment and higher education and better money management, better health insurance. So I can find a way to try to protect myself, document what's happening for the legal proceedings that are most definitely looming in the future, and save my own life. And I'm so afraid. And the government has put me in this position by letting these terrorists, they're terrorist organizations is what they really are. Is what they really are. Everybody's worried about some Muslim group or Russia or something like that. And your neighbors down the street are a terrorist organization. And they're regular white and black American people. And they're acting as terrorist organizations waging war against innocent civilians for their own little private reasons, whatever they come up with in their mind. And I have the fear that it's going to come down to a self-defense situation where I could lose my life trying to defend my life. Or the government, police, could possibly kill me. Say, oh, he's a whack job. He's losing his mind. He's talking about broadcast torture and trying to attack people or something like that. And I'm not saying that I will attack people. What I'm saying is I hope to God that it doesn't come down to some self-defense situation. And it's been very well documented. And I've reached out to every branch of government and tried every possible way that I can come up with. And right now I'm working on getting the funding for medical documentation and legal representation. And I know who's responsible for this. And they really are doing this mutilation torture. You might have seen a video where, I just reached in my mouth and pulled a tooth out. It was a pretty gory video, and that was probably 3 years ago. And it's just gotten worse and worse. And every tooth in my mouth is loose. And I can feel my lips and gums burning and taste electrical broadcast. While the Howard Circle guys and others, while they're on, I got 4 guys talking out loud, artificial telepathic broadcast. Not even telepathic, it's just a broadcast to your mind. On your frequency, on your neurological frequency. And they sit there and try to talk your head off while they're connected to you, receiving, not reading, they're receiving your every thought. And they sit there and do these live streams, these EMF broadcast live streams. And good luck trying to get the police to do anything. You're on your own. And if you don't defend your life by any means necessary, they will kill you eventually. And they don't care. They will kill you. It will kill you eventually. And your body is falling apart. And they're doing the same thing to your organs, your brain and your heart and your genitals and your lungs and kidneys and liver and intestines, eyes. They attack my eyes every day. And I talk about all of this stuff every single day. Why wouldn't I just take my neural monitoring? No. It's not how it was. You go do somebody else, right? This is not going to be able to continue, even if we have to engage in war. Because this is genocide. And you only have one life. And we're backed into a corner where if we don't defend ourselves, we will die. Our children will die and be tortured. And anybody who doesn't have access to neural monitoring, satellite mind control broadcast to turn everybody off on their own interface, neurological broadcast frequency control panel profile online on the internet. If you don't have control of your own, you will die eventually from this. And your children and whoever else in your family that doesn't have it, they will die also. And this is genocide. And they're attacking my face, my eyes, and my teeth, my mouth, my gums. And I feel my lips burning every single day. Every day. And they do this with the absolute intention. They would love for my face to start caving in. Oh, and don't be somebody that smokes cigarettes or something like. I quit smoking cigarettes like 4 years ago, probably. and occasionally I'll smoke a cigar, right? And that gives them like every excuse. They wait for an excuse, any excuse to try to act like they could just do whatever they want to you, because you used to smoke cigarettes and you smoke a cigar every now and then. So now we're gonna microwave broadcast your mouth every single day until your face caves in. And that's bodily mutilation, deformation, genocide, and attempted murder, and self-defense is absolutely acceptable in those circumstances. And our government has failed us. They have failed us. And they're not upholding laws and protecting the citizens. And they will kill you if you try to lash out and defend yourself over neural monitoring. The police will come and kill you. Or they would charge you with some kind of assault or murder or whatever and haul you off to jail, and you get tortured for the rest of your life anyway. And that's what our government is doing to us by letting these degenerate terrorist organizations operate as gang stalkers in the United States and elsewhere in the world. And that's the absolute truth. My name's Kevin Christian. It's April the 1st, 2022. I swear to God it's the truth.